goes without saying that I've missed not being involved. Certainly at the start of the season, I left Newcastle in May, and the season was virtually over. Only one game to go, and it was easy to deal with during the close season because everyone's not working as such. But of course, when pre-season came round, already I was itching to get back into the game, and I've waited, I've been patient, and I'm very grateful to be given this opportunity that I'm so looking forward to.
Big challenge, 3 points adrift at the bottom. Is this something that you've had before in your career?
We were 5 points adrift at Gillingham where I took over as a player manager, and the Gillingham was staring the Conference League in the face. It was November time, and we stayed up with a couple of games to go. And I have, as the chairman said, I've got a lot of experience in this situation. So Gillingham, Newcastle wasn't going particularly well at the time, and we managed to turn that around. An opinion at the moment, but I'll be making my own judgment on players over this coming week before the big game, and it is a big game. Every game is going to be big, and it's going to be tough for the rest of the season and over the coming weeks. And although I sought the advice of one person in particular that knows the squad very well, I didn't sought any other advice because I want to make my own judgment on the players and not have that clouded by other people's opinions.
Who was that person?
And he doesn't need to be named. Okay. It would be unfair.
Who will be your number 2, Glenn? Do you have anyone in mind?
Yes, I do. We can't say who that is at the moment because he's working at another club, and it would be wrong to name that person until we have permission to speak to him. I don't think that will be a problem. So until we're in that position, we have to, or I have to, say nothing. But hopefully, we'll move very quickly on that.
Also a coach as assistant, that you're also missing a coach here, I think, as well. Will you be bringing another person in?
I will be looking to bring in an assistant manager and a coach. Yeah.
Is that the same as well? You can't name him, or you can name him?
No, I can't, because again, both the lads are in employment at the moment. I've spoken to both the lads socially, I'll say socially, and they are, jumping at the opportunity maybe of coming here and working with me.
Your first game is going to be the local derby. Do you see that as an ideal game to start with?
Yes, absolutely. Couldn't have a better game to start, especially at home. I'm sure the time kick-off comes, the boys will be ready for it, and it's for me that game, because of our present situation, is a situation where, as far as I'm concerned, it's a win-win situation for us. I've always thought it's bad policy to publicly say whether you have cash available or not, because everyone else is listening. And if you when you try to bring players in, obviously people remember that you said you had cash available. So I'd rather not say. But I obviously asked that question at the second interview yesterday, and I was told that if I bring players to the chairman, to the board of directors, they will look at those players, the players I want to bring in, and we don't seem to have a problem in, certainly at the moment, which would suit me as well, loaning players, which would make sense. And I like to be able to use the contacts I have in the game who would want to help me out, who would want to help Norwich City out, and of course, when I'm thinking of an attraction of wanting to manage Norwich City, the last home game against Bristol City, there was 24,000 supporters in the ground, a team that was in the bottom 3. For me, that's phenomenal. And I need to get to those supporters and make them the 12th man. We've got to start winning games quickly, and we need the supporters, no matter how they feel at the moment, that they'll be in pain, they'll be hurting, and there'll be a time and a place to say whatever they want to say. At the moment, we need them on side. We need them to get behind us. And I think if when the players show that commitment that they want to get back to winning ways, I'm sure we can get the crowd, as I say, here at Carrow Road, being the 12th man. 24,000 is a phenomenal crowd in the Championship when the team was in the bottom three, and that is exciting to manage a club like that.
You've obviously turned teams around before. Is there a real secret to it?
It'd be silly to tell everyone, wouldn't it? I think you need to have an effect on the players as quickly as possible. I particularly looked at the live cameras on the television against Queen's Park Rangers. I personally thought a lot of the players were suffering from a lack of confidence, and that is a big factor in winning and losing. It's such a fine dividing line anyway. Any lack of confidence will obviously it's very negative in trying to win games. So it's a question of getting that first win. There's nothing better for confidence than winning. No matter what I say to them, winning a game of football will help them, will help me immensely. The sooner we do it, the better. And we have a super opportunity at the weekend to certainly get the fans on our side. I certainly know how important it is. Where I've just come from, Newcastle, Sunderland, which is a massive game in the North East, and equally as massive here in East Anglia. Norwich, Ipswich is a very appealing fixture to win. It's appealing to win every game, but particularly that one against your local rivals, who you have to say are going well at the moment.
Have you worked with any of the Norwich players before?
Dion Dublin, when I worked with Glenn Roeder, when I worked under Glenn Roeder as an England coach, I worked with Dion, and I found him an excellent person, first of all, which is important, and of course an excellent player as well. Otherwise he wouldn't have been in the England squad, and I'm sure he wouldn't have changed. People normally don't change; they are what they are, and I'm looking forward to meeting Dion later on and getting him fit again, because obviously the senior players are going to be very important to the team. They often can have a big influence on what goes on the pitch, and help the manager by having that influence on the pitch. And Dion is that kind of influential player, inspirational. I know he's 39, but again, age doesn't bother me, whether they're 16, 17, 18, or whether they're 39. If they can do the job for Norwich City, they've been there playing and helping us achieve the results that we want to get back up the table. We certainly know it can't be achieved overnight. It's going to be a long process during this coming winter that we're now going into, but we're all aiming for the same result come the end of the season, and that is to finish as high up the table as possible.
Looking longer term, how far do you think you can take the side? Obviously it's the Premiership, that's the ultimate ambition.
Well, it's for me personally, you have to have short-term goals. That's pretty obvious what they are immediately. And then you have a medium term goal and a long-term goal. I've always believed that if you look too far ahead, you then trip up in terms of what your immediate goals are. But in my own mind, you'll know, the same as I know, what the long-term goal will be here at Norwich City, because ultimately the club is geared up stadium-wise, training ground-wise, to play Premiership football. And at the moment, that's a long way off. Football can change very quickly.
Don't want to press you too far into the future, but what's a realistic aim for the end of the season? Maybe the playoffs? Mid-table?
I always believe in life that whether it's anything to do with football, but in life in general, you're far better off to be unrealistic in your targets than realistic. So I always think if you're realistic, it's a cop out for underachieving. So if you're unrealistic about what's possible this year, who knows?
You won't divulge your unrealistic target, though.
No, but I think we'll know later on.
Have you, in the first weeks or months of this season, been involved in any football? Because I thought there was a link with you with Arsenal and a youth job there.
Well,
Have you been involved?
and you guys know better than anyone else. There's a lot of space that needs filling every day in the papers. It's very difficult to keep secrets. I have to say, I think this one this morning has been kept very well. I've always found if you're linked with a job, you don't get it. So I was very pleased to find out that I've not been linked with this job for a long while, knowing I've been pitching in there straight away. You know, as soon as Peter, unfortunately, lost his job, and I say unfortunately, genuinely, because I feel managers and coaches, we are a football family. We know the rules, we understand what can happen, and we're sad when that happens to each and one of us. No one puts a gun to our head to go in there. So it was, disappointing that when Peter lost his job. But as soon as he did, I wasn't slow off the mark picking up a telephone, and it was good that we kept it so quiet, really, until this morning. But getting back to Arsenal, it would probably be wrong of me to talk too deeply about that. But I think that Arsenal is looking to develop even more, which is what I consider the best recruitment policy in the world. I think for me, Arsene Wenger is an absolute magnificent manager because of the way he does it, with his recruitment of players that we know little about, and within 18 months they're world stars. Nothing really to say on that. Nothing materialised there. Because of what's happened last night, I have to say I'm very happy to be given this opportunity to be sitting here this morning talking to you.